And we're off. Ready to go. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
My name is Hanna Thompson, and I am the ASG president at SFCC.
I'm Rob Sramek, and I'm the ASG president at SCC.
Rob, let's start with you. You go to SCC. Do you have classes in person?
Yes, sir. At the tail end of last year, we went 100% online, and unfortunately, because of the way that our coursework is designed, we have to have some lab time. And they took our class and split it in two and then distanced us even further beyond that because we had stalls and then the additional 12 to almost 15-foot range of distance between each of us. And then when we got back in this fall time period, we were 100% on campus. And as the numbers started to spike again, that's when we started to also go back to the off day, on day kind of thing, where we would rotate back and forth between a group A and a group B. In my case, we had 100% online for about 6-8 weeks. And then we went to a hybrid, and then we went in person. and now we're going back to a hybrid.
It's been a journey.
It's been kind of crazy.
Yeah. Hanna, how about you?
All my classes this quarter are on ground. I know there aren't a ton of students that are on ground. Most are online or doing hybrid classes. I'm not 100% sure how winter quarter is going to look. I think there's going to be more online than there will be on ground. Just as when we get into the winter months, because then there's like the flu and everything like that as well that comes around.
Were both of you taking classes in the springtime when, well, I guess the winter is when it first hit. Were you both taking classes around that time?
I would say that in our case, I had sort of a leg up on knowledge of what was going to happen because I was a part of the ASG last year as a senator for the technical education area. I had some inkling that it was going to occur. It's still nothing that you really prepare yourself for because it's nothing that we've ever faced. I had already known that the flu season was bad, so I was prepared to wear a mask and, keep the distance from everybody that was already coughing and sneezing like crazy. So when it started to rear its ugly head in the spring quarter, we weren't surprised. A lot of my classmates didn't take it so easily. It was a transition that a lot of them have had difficulty with, including even to today, knowing full well that the numbers have continued to climb.
I wasn't surprised that our winter quarter was going to maybe end early and that spring quarter was going to be online, but it was still kind of abrupt. I had my math final. I was in class. They were like, maybe we'll close next week. And then the next day I had my final, and that was the last day of class. And then all my classes were online spring quarter. And I know a lot of people didn't like having all their classes online. I can say I didn't like having all my classes online just because I do better with learning in person. And I know like a lot of people decided, well, I'm just not going to do classes right now. Or I know a lot of people who were seniors in high school last year decided to take a gap year instead of going to college because of the whole situation. But I wasn't totally surprised of how it happened or that it happened, because with how things had been looking before, it kind of looked like that's the direction things were moving in. Using a planner. I mean, I used a planner before, but then I really started using my planner just to make sure that I got all my assignments in, because Canvas is whack. It sometimes doesn't tell you when your assignments are due properly and you don't know for sure. Having a planner so you can keep your goals and keep on track with your assignments. And if you have work, if you had some other commitments you needed to do, it was a good way to stay organized and kind of keep things more comfortable in a very hectic time.
The biggest thing for me was sticking to a set schedule. As ridiculous as it sounds, it was so easy to wake up 5-10 minutes before the online portion would start up, roll out of bed and just flip on Zoom and take it away. Unfortunately, what you lose in that aspect is, again, as ridiculous as it sounds, the get up, the morning routine, the take the shower, the make sure that you got your coffee or your whatever, you're out the door at a certain time, you're on time, you're in there 30 minutes before class starts, you're mixing it up with other people. All that's thrown out the window, and you become almost a sloth You lose the motivation in a lot of respects too, because rolling out of bed and flipping on a computer screen is a lot easier than getting your butt in gear and out the door. And yes, I had to definitely keep sort of a day planner because Canvas is not exactly the most user-friendly at times. The activities that we planned last year as part of the ASG, I got to take part in. Mm-hmm. All of that is gone. The social aspect. And I'm not really a social butterfly, so to speak. I do enjoy the interaction because there's something to be said about the enjoyment of others. And we don't have that. It's dead in the layer building. You go in there and you see maybe a half a dozen people over the course of several hours walking through there. The biggest thing I miss, whether or not I'm in person or online, is the rest of the interaction that we would have on a natural, everyday basis.
Well, I'm not very much of a social butterfly either, like big time I'm not, so I don't know how I got this job either. But I really kind of miss the conversation in class. Like nobody talks. It's like it's dead in the classroom. Nobody talks, no one interacts. And I miss the interesting conversations students have. And I know teachers also have said our classes are super silent. I mean, there's people who typically would talk a lot in class, but they don't anymore. I miss class discussions and things like that a lot. I picked up running in March when school closed. And I would run every day before my classes and then sometimes afterwards as well because I had a lot of fun with it. I have a leopard gecko.
Oh, okay.
His name's Blue. And yeah, those are the two biggest things.
Do you want to show us Blue? Is it possible for you to show us Blue?
I can get Blue.
Yeah? Well, while she's getting Blue, Rob, how about you? Have you picked up anything since it started?
I admire Hanna because I went the opposite direction. I took up food, my own COVID-19.
Right, yeah.
But unfortunately, it's a little bit north of 19 at this point.
The COVID-35.
Yeah, there you go. I need to take up my own running at this point. It's been crazy. With the wife pregnant and everything, we had our son born in July.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. It was a crazy transition from everything's go, 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 and then all of a sudden everything's shut down to, oh boy, I got a newborn, to, oh crap, we're starting back up. We haven't had much of time for hobbies of any sort, which is a shame because we used to love to go to the art shows or the exhibit stuff. We loved the art on the Avs. We missed that. So short of eating and maybe Netflixing and Prime and now Disney Plus, I've got a lot of admiration for Hanna because I didn't go that route.
Yeah, that's good. Hanna, you went the right route. Let's take a look at Blue though.
Yes.
So this is Blue. He's kind of tired. It's during his sleepy time, but he wasn't asleep, so I picked him up. He's a leopard gecko.
Yeah, he's adorable.
Yeah, he's really small for his age.
How old is he?
It's okay. He's probably 6 months old.
Okay.
So he's really tiny because of how, considering he's a boy, but I still love him.
That's
and
awesome.
he used to have dark blue spots on the top of his head that were really bright, especially compared to leopard geckos that usually have them. One thing would be, this isn't going to be forever, so hang in there. Humanity has faced many diseases in the past, and we've made it through it. This isn't forever. Things are going to get better. It might take time, but it will. Use this time to improve yourself, to grow as a person.
In a lot of ways, I'd say the same thing, and I would echo going forward on it. This is my third time coming back to school, and this time it stuck. Don't give up. Wear the mask, not for yourself, but for your fellow student, for your fellow friend, your family member, and we'll get through this and on the other side a lot faster. Don't give up.
Right.
Stick to it.
And when the time comes, we'll start watching hockey and enjoying that. So
that's right.
Well, thank you both so much for taking the time on a Friday afternoon. Thank you guys. You have a good day.
Bye.
Yep.